What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny 2. In the last episode, we finished off with the medium curse week, and now the curse is in full effect. Welcome to week 3, everybody, and we're going to be starting this week, actually, by doing a brand new public event, one we haven't done before. So this one is called the Ether Ritual. It used to be available in the Tangled Shore, but it is also available only in the Devalian Mists here in the Dreaming City. Now, the way this works is very, very simple. What you need to do is you need to kill each of the Dredge chieftains that spawn in three spots around the map. You then need to shoot all of these blue spores that are trying to make their way towards the center of the public event, which is this thing right here. If they even one of those spores makes it there, you will not get the heroic for this event. Now, that might sound really difficult, but they're actually not that hard to kill. If you have something like an auto rifle, it makes this a whole lot easier, so make sure that you shoot them all. And if you manage to take every single one of them out with fully charged bow shots, probably the worst weapon to do this with, if you manage to get them all, they will spawn a champion, which is, yes, the Baron, the big Baron, the machinist from the Forsaken campaign, will come back to life, and you have to kill her. Otherwise, it's just going to be a giant abomination that spawns. But take her out, and once you've done that, you have completed the other new public event here in the Dreaming City. And we got a small gift for our troubles. I finished the Public Works bounty, which is pretty good. Let's go and find Petra now. So Petra has moved to a brand new location, the only location that she hasn't yet been in. We've seen her in the Devalian Mists. We've seen her in the Strand. The Strand, there it is. And now we're going to go find her in Rhea Silvia up ahead. Sometimes when I try to remember things off the top of my head, it doesn't go super well. So today is going to be the typical introductory episode for each of the new weeks. So we're going to be doing the Ascendant Challenge and also seeing what the Blindwell boss is this time around. Let's say hi to Petra. Okay, so we got our usual quests, including a new mission to do. Ascendant Challenge, they call it a rest, but is more truly a haunt. Let's grab that one. Grab all of these ones here. There's, in fact, the bounty specifically for that one, which is Lost in the Strand. Unfortunately, I grabbed that Heroic Public Events bounty before I did that last one, but oh well. So, let's take a look at that Ascendant Challenge once again. Let's see. They call it a rest, but it's more truly a haunt. If we actually look at the one we got, Lost in the Strand, explore a Phalian's Rest in the Dreaming City, which is in the Strand. So now we need to head on over there, and if you can put two and two together, the Ascendant Challenge is also within that very same Lost sector. So why don't we kill two birds with one stone, eh? Let's get it done. So we have obviously done this Lost sector a few times before. That's not going to be anything new, but the actual Ascendant Challenge itself is a bit more interesting. Now, if I remember correctly, and I think I do, when Forsaken first dropped and the Dreaming City was first unlocked, this Ascendant Challenge we're about to do was the first one available in the game. So it kind of stands out as being like everybody's first experience with this sort of challenge. And this one in particular is actually one of the harder ones, if not the hardest one, which isn't saying a lot because, like I said before, the Ascendant challenges aren't really all that difficult, but this one certainly keeps you on your toes quite a bit. Right up there with the one that we did in Chamber of Starlight. I would say those tend to be the two most difficult in terms of a combat challenge, at least, and whatnot. There is a third one, though, that's not a hard combat challenge, but it's an incredibly frustrating platforming challenge that we haven't yet done, and we'll talk about that one a little bit later. Let me just chuck that down there and take all of them out as more spawn behind me. We're just going to be using our good old trusty Laymanarch today. And I'm really excited for this week in particular, this full curse week, because we are going to get to see some pretty exciting stuff now that the curse is at its fullest strength. So first of all, we have probably the most interesting of the missions. That's for darn sure. But on top of that, we also have access to a couple of other things that we did not in the first 2 weeks, or at least I say that, but I guess that isn't completely true because they have made some changes with the way that the Dreaming City functions. So it's not exactly the same way that it was when the game came out, but it all makes sense. We still have a few endgame things left to do here in the Dreaming City. So let me see. I'm going to use Chain Lightning because these Scions really like to spawn respawn super quickly in here, so let's just kill him that way. And that one's probably going to split before I kill it, but that's okay. We'll just do that. That one should poison out, and as should that one. We'll take all this stuff. And look, we're getting mods still, even though I believe at the point as of right now, I do have every single mod unlocked. Remember, I'm recording these episodes out of order, so you probably will get the talk about that a little bit later on, but I actually have every single mod in the game unlocked at the moment. All right, I'm going to actually use my linear fusion here because I do need to be getting those for a specific bounty. Probably should actually be landing my shots, though. It'd help a little bit. All right, go away. Let's keep killing him. Did he split? No, he didn't. Oh, he tried to, but I think we got him right in the middle of the split. And you're going to split as well. There we go. All right, that ought to do it. And then I will take all of those with Clown Cartridge at 9. Thank you very much. And now with all of that done, why don't we finally take a drink of a Tincture of Queen's Foil? And voila, there we go. We have ourselves an Ascendant challenge here. So this one actually took a minute to spawn. I actually kind of had to run all the way to the back of the room. Like I said, things have still kind of been acting up in the game lately in that regard, especially here in the Dreaming City. I mean, the Dreaming City's been stagnant for so long that Bungie kind of tends to ignore it these days, but that's mostly why it's not working super well. So, this challenge is a bit of an interesting one. We have all these crystals here that we need to break to finish the challenge. But we're going to be constantly hunted by these Shadow Thrall and the Abyssal Champions as we move throughout the map. Now, you're probably wondering, how do we actually get the shields off the crystals? Well, if you can see way over there, there's a bit of flickering going on in that direction. These are blights. There are 4 of these throughout the challenge that we need to destroy. Now, seeing the exact path is a little bit difficult because your vision is obscured, but the blights are always there. You need to make your way to each blight and destroy them with preferably a special weapon of some kind. I would get a shotgun or a fusion rifle. Those can both do the job pretty darn well. But destroy each of the blights and then move on to the next one. If you kind of just bob and weave, jump between the platforms like I'm sort of doing right now, it makes it incredibly hard for the Abyssal Champions and the Shadow Thrall to keep up with you. So just kind of make your way around again and again, jump across gaps. They're not going to be able to follow you in these sorts of jumps, but do keep in mind that it is really hard to see where the actual platforms are, and it's very easy to fall off if you're not careful. So just be vigilant, be patient, but also don't be too slow, otherwise they are going to catch up to you and start dealing damage, especially as you break more and more seals, because eventually the Abyssal Champions like that one are going to lose their helmets, which, if you remember from previous Ascendant challenges, means that they become more aggressive and move a lot faster. This is going to be especially obnoxious once we get to the point where we're able to start breaking these crystals, because then all 3 Abyssal Champions will be relentless and will all have their helmets off. So keep moving, like so, and I'm just using Stompies for this, nothing too special. Not really relying on Amplified or anything for this particular challenge, because it's not really needed. It's not that hard. This challenge was not designed around amplification anyway. Not really anything in the game is at this point, if I could be completely honest. All right, all the seals are broken. Now we can start destroying all of these crystals. I do have a plan here, but I'm going to at least just start using my fusion rifle at the beginning. The crystals don't take too much damage. A single powerful bow shot should get rid of them. You can kind of move between them. But as soon as the Abyssal Champions catch up, that's, you know, a big if they do. They might not, though. I've only got one more crystal left to do. All right, here they are. So I think what I'm going to do for these guys is I'm going to hit them with that just because I can. You can kill the Abyssal Champions in here, so keep that in mind. But once all the crystals are dead, all of the Abyssal Champions will drop dead, the Shadow Thrall will despawn, and the challenge is yours. And there we go! Ascendant challenge done. Why don't we turn that in to see what additional thing we get from it. We get ourselves some Reverie Dawn Strides with very bad base stats, but the Sniper might be more interesting. Lead from Gold is always good to have on a special weapon. Snapshot's always pretty good to have on a Sniper, but this is a PvP perk, this is a PvE perk. These two do not synergize with each other whatsoever, so I am going to shard it. Plus, it's a rapid fire frame, and those are pretty much exclusively good in PvP, not so much PvE. Not unless you get, like, a sniper with the perks specifically built around it regenerating ammo a lot. So like 4th time's the charm, triple tap, maybe both of those in tandem, and then maybe something like high impact reserves where half of the mag can deal additional damage. Otherwise, I really wouldn't bother with rapid fires in PvE all that much. So, all right, let's now move on to the blind well, where I'm going to see you guys at the last boss. And this one's going to be on the quick side because of the simple fact that this boss is really easy to kill. So keep that in mind. But I will see you on over there in just a moment. Okay, we are here in the final phase, Tier 3. We got a bunch of taken Minotaurs. And now with all of them dead, as soon as an unstable charge of light gets deposited, we are going to be ready to... Someone's got it. Okay, good. We got to get ready to take down the meatball once again. This is the boss, and it is probably going to die instantly, assuming everyone actually throws their supers at it. No, it actually teleported in time. Wow. I am shocked. Oh, no, it did die. Okay. I was going to say, usually this thing dies instantly. It's very easy, or very hard, in fact, to keep the thing alive. To even show how it's supposed to work. But basically what it does is as soon as it spawns in, it'll sit there for only a few seconds before it teleports away. And then what it'll do is it'll attach itself to a blight, and you have to destroy the blight, damage it to make it vulnerable again. It does this in terms of damage thresholds. So if you did too much damage too quickly but didn't quite kill it, it'll instantly become invulnerable again after you've destroyed the first blight, and then it'll attach itself to 2 blights, and then eventually 3 blights, and so on and so forth. But that's, again, if you don't just instantly kill it by nuking it with a super, because it's so easy to do. A single Falling Star Thunder Crash and a Gathering Storm will probably both kill it, and since you're usually in a room with like 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 people, yeah, that thing does not usually last very long, but that's basically how that one works. It happens to be the easiest of all of the blind well bosses, even though it is in the last week. So, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Destiny. Thank you all so very much for watching. Next time, we are going to be jumping on into the Dark Monastery mission here in the Dreaming City. We're getting ready to take on the big and the bad in the Dreaming City. The Shattered Throne dungeon is not too far away, so I hope you're all looking forward to that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.